Welcome to Breaking Barriers. You know your path. We know the obstacles, and we can teach you how to tear them down. And now your host, CEO and founder of Adapting Social, John Vigero.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Breaking Barriers. I'm super stoked. You always know every time I'm talking about business growth, I always bring up how important it is to network. I literally just met you, I met you, I think, what was it, like 2-3 weeks ago?
I was say about a month
ago.
Yeah.
At Eat Clean Bro, their charity event, their golf outing. And yeah, it was great. So we got J. Michael Fischer here, Jr. with us.
Thank you
so much for being here, brother.
Dude, it's my
Appreciate
pleasure,
you, man. He's in the house. So you relocated from North Jersey down here, or New York?
We were in central Jersey, Hillsborough, Montgomery, 15 minutes north of downtown Princeton. Came down to Monmouth County to be closer to family and friends. Eat Clean Bro, Jamie, big fan of the guy.
He's great.
And I said to myself, okay, if I'm going to really make it pop, I got to get with all the guys that are around that age group that are doing cool things. I'm a big giver, and it's like, hey, let's support, Children's Specialized Hospital. Totally. Let's sign up for the golf outing. Then I see this handsome guy, this great haircut, wearing the Patek, and I'm like, oh my God, bro. I'm like, who's this guy? I got to shake this guy's hand. So I just creeped on you, man.
Yeah. So it was the watch that got you.
It was the watch and the hair, I think.
Watching the hair?
Watching the hair, I was like, I wish I could do my hair like that,
The dude that you were with, though, actually, I think you were with him, right? The guy from Chicago, wherever it was. Was he with you?
No,
or were we just?
I don't know.
We might have all just been at that booth at the same time.
Yeah.
But he said something I never heard of. He goes, where I'm from, he goes, we call your hair the Tennessee waterfall.
Ooh.
All right. I went home, instantly told my wife, I was like, yo, I got the Tennessee waterfall.
It's amazing. It's an in thing now, right?
Totally.
It's still kind of business in the front, party in the back, but not mullet.
Right.
It's like Tennessee waterfall.
It's like the corporate mullet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Great.
So, but real quick on that note of speaking about like the power of networking, dude, I thought it was awesome. And obviously we're going to get into your career and like your story and stuff. But what I loved though was that I'm just like you, right? Like if I'm at an event or I was like, this guy looks interesting, whatever. I love meeting new people, but I love, you literally just came right up to me. You're like, nice watch. We started bullshitting. Next thing you know, obviously we had some calls, here we are now doing a podcast, but like, the power of networking is so important to develop and build your career.
Absolutely.
And we live in a world now where so many of these younger Gen Zs and younger people, they don't want to communicate. There's a lot more introverted stuff. They don't enjoy it. And so, it's just I was stoked when you did that because again, it doesn't happen as often anymore, especially which is the way people are.
Can I tell you something even crazier than our interacting? I was like, okay, I had Jamie's phone number. I used to run an online fitness company. We were having Frankie Edgar as a keynote speaker at an event we were hosting.
Right.
And I said, hey, we got to get Eat Clean Bro in here to it's a health and fitness company.
Yeah,
we got to get Eat Clean Bro in there. So Frankie's like, here, call Jamie. Call Jamie. And Jamie's like, I'm not the guy to deal with this stuff, right? But he passed me along to his second guy, had great food and everything. So when I moved to the area, I see this golf outing. So I text Jamie blindly and said, look, dude, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to be a helpful resource. I'm really happy with what you're doing. I'm going to come out to this thing and I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to meet a lot of people, but I just want to say thank you for having me.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, dude, let's meet. Like, this is cool, right? First person, he's like, you're the guy that reached out to me. But what's crazier is I posted it on social. And then all of a sudden somebody said, just cold called me. Said, hey, I saw you posted something about the Eat Clean Bro outing, and you work with businesses. Hey, could we talk for a little bit? It was so powerful.
Right.
Then I met this guy, Kay, from Sunnyside Power Washing.
He's great.
Dude, he just did my house.
Was he?
He just did my house. Now I'm here doing a podcast with you. It's like how many different things happened.
Right.
It's crazy. I went to my daughter's first grade orientation. A guy that I had met at the Colts Neck Fireworks was also playing at the golf outing. We're walking in to go to orientation. It's like, didn't I just see you somewhere? It's the power, man.
The one thing is that Jamie knows everybody.
Of course.
Everybody loves Jamie. He's the GOAT. But that's why when you go to his events, so you got to go to the gala.
I'm definitely going to go.
You're definitely going to go. Yeah, we'll be there. But Jamie's great. Everybody rides for Jamie because they know like he's just he's somebody who wants to help people. Like, he's helped so many businesses over the years, like put them on, get them in front of people. Like, he'll post, on his stories, go check this one company out, and people go flock to it. He's a good dude. He cares. He's a community guy. He's a family guy. But anyway, so his any event that he does is always like that.
Yeah.
But the gala is gonna be big. So you've never been?
No, I've never been. The crazy thing is, though, bro, I'm telling you, man, I keep talking to friends. Like, I'm in the finance world, you know this, right? And back in the day, like our dads and our dads' dads, it was all this circle, this network, this community of guys helping each other grow. And I truly feel like this whole Monmouth County thing that's happened, guys like yourself, guys like Jamie, I mean, big things are happening in this area.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have that resurgence of that that community where we're just helping each other grow.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And it's important, though, especially to be around like-minded individuals like that. You build guys who, are women who, iron sharpens iron, when you're motivated.
Absolutely.
And this is the thing. It's like I always joke around with my friends, right? Because like if you're somebody who, is in like a C-suite, like to being an owner, your career is very different from your friends, right? So they can't relate to a lot of shit that you are going through, right? Yeah. And so it's almost like an AA meeting when you're around other people that are going through, managing and employees and running a business and blah, blah, blah. So I always love that.
Yeah, but aren't you drawn to those conversations?
100%.
There's a time and place where we could talk about the Yankees,
right?
Or we could talk about the whatever sports
100%.
Team it is, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm just like, it's not very fulfilling.
No,
I just want to be like, John. Well, how did you get into this building? Like, how did this?
Right. How did this happen? Right.
And then when I talk to you and you're like, yeah, I started when I was in high school. I'm like, that's somebody I want to be around. Like, that's somebody I want to, like, what mistakes did you make? What happened?
Right.
How did all this happen?
Right.
So such a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. Success, I was like Tony Robbins I stole from, but he always says success leaves clues.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I'm similar to you, man. Everybody from when I was 17 starting this to, now being 33, it's like, I always want to learn something from somebody else and like how'd they do it? Because that's how you grow the most, right?
Absolutely.
But sorry, let's talk about you for a sec. So, for people who are like, who the hell is Michael?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think people always thought of Michael when Michael was in, younger and everything. People always say, oh, Michael was going to be the mayor of the town. I talked from a young age. I was always shaking hands and engaging with people. But I grew up in a very kind of strict household, very strict on the things that I did, the way I acted, all these different things. And when I finally had the chance to break free, I had a scholarship to St. Joe's University in Philadelphia for food marketing because I like to cook, but I didn't want to be a chef because I always wanted to have a family.
Right.
So being a chef, that's not very conducive to family life.
That's a crazy hours.
Crazy hours. So what I did naturally was I decided to pursue my rock and roll dreams, and I played guitar. I wrote music with all my best friends, and we tried the band thing, and we toured, and we made music, and we played the Stone Pony several times inside. I played the Stone Pony summer stage.
Wow.
Like really cool, big venues. Biggest lesson I learned from that was there was times where people wanted to rip my shirt off because they were so into the band. And then I've also had, opening up for the hardcore band where they're like throwing beer bottles at you and booing you off stage, right?
Damn.
So I've never been afraid of failure because it's happened.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, for sure. But, as the rock and roll career, kept going, it's a very, 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 you have to be super lucky. Like the right thing has to happen, and to really make money from it, it's not like it used to be like, hey, you're going to sign a record deal and you're going to make all this money. It's basically like a record label gives you a loan and says, okay, we'll give you a loan to produce this great piece of work. Now you got to pay us back for that and then some.
So it's not the way. So, and I'm sure that's probably always how it was, though, right? When you think about it.
I don't know about that, right? Because there used to be record sales and things like
true,
that, right?
right?
So now it's a lot more touring and all this kind of stuff. And when you really, and this is what I do with everything, John, is like I think about life in what's my life going to be like in 5 years, 10 years from now?
Right.
Would I be able to have a wife? Would I be able to have my beautiful daughter? Would I be able to have this great relationship with them if I was constantly on the road trying to make money to pay back the big record label and all this? So it just got to this weird inflection point where one of the guys in the band was leaving to do this. I said, you know what, I got to figure something out. So I landed a job as a teller at a bank, like the most random thing in the world. And now when I tell you.
Which bank?
It was Fulton Bank. Fulton Bank.
Okay.
But
Fulton.
when I tell you something here, though, right, it was one of those things where while I was trying to pursue the rock and roll thing, I was a plumber's helper. I rebuilt car alternators. I was a school janitor in the summertime, you know, scraping desks and waxing floors. Had some, you know, clearly shitty jobs, pun intended, like really real shitty jobs, legit shitty jobs, cleaning toilets. I mean, I'd worked in some pretty, you know, jobs that most people would overlook. And I found this home in helping people in banking. And that's what I started off as a teller. I built rapport with people. I learned how to communicate, learned how to sell people based on their needs, not trying to push product down their throat.
And that's huge.
That's huge. And that's when I found the thing that just unlit. Like, it was just a spark for me. The more I help people, the more good things happen to me.
Yep.
And it just became the key to opening up every amazing door for the rest of my life.
Yeah, the secret to living is giving.
I'm going to steal that. That's a good one. No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, but long story short, you know, I started there. 7 months later, I was a customer service rep. From there, I started working. There was a senior lender for the bank that, you know, came in, had his safety deposit box in my branch. And I'd go, every time he'd walk in, I'd hold the door for him. I'd shake his hand. How are you? And I finally said, I want to work for you. What do I got to do?
Right.
And he gave me a shot. I became a commercial credit analyst. I learned what was a good deal and a bad deal. I learned how to review financial statements. And then from there, it was just, I got to go to all these cool businesses, man.
Right.
And get to learn how they worked and how they operated and what kept the owner up at night and what was he thinking about for the future. And that's how my career in the financial industry has progressed. So going from starting as a teller, you know, now I'm a managing director of a bespoke, you know, investment bank where we're really helping people with this huge inflection point of their life where it's, are we going to grow? Are we going to sell? Do we want to buy more companies? You know, that's the thing that really, it brings me so much pleasure because I get to be myself, I get to help people, and I get paid handsomely for doing all those things.
Right.
That's it.
Win-win-win.
That's all. That's all it is win-win.
Are you seeing people right now, like, based on your experience, like, are you seeing people in the economy right now, like, you know, hold their cards to their chest more based on the economy or be a little bit more, you know, risk?
I think it's everybody is apprehensive. People are trying to see what's going on, but I feel like you can't pick a good time to make a decision, unfortunately, right? Because look what happened. I mean, everything was going great, and then all of a sudden COVID hits and we shut down the world, and how are we going to do this? And is there ever going to be a restaurant again? Are we going to be able to eat? I mean, I don't know about you, man, but I remember not knowing what was going on. I was literally spraying with sanitizer the groceries as they were coming out of my...
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
I remember doing that,
yeah.
man.
But before then, but that's because you're getting a certain narrative and, you know, marketing, right? You get certain things pushed to you and you're like, well, you don't know what you don't know anymore.
Right. Well, at the time, did you had a newborn at the time, right? Or you, for 1 year old?
She had just been born.
Yeah.
Greatest gift in my life.
Aren't kids the best?
Well, having a kid during COVID was the greatest gift in the world. First steps,
always
first
there.
words, first everything.
Right.
Baby pool and our little breezeway. You know what I mean? Like, it was an amazing time. But what I learned in that moment was people are always nervous about something, and people are always going to be concerned about something. So what I learned to do then was I'd reach out to people and I'd just listen. I'd call clients and they go, is everything okay? Is my line of credit going to be frozen right now? It's like, no.
You're good.
We're all good. We're all good. How are you doing right now? How's your family doing?
Right.
What's going on? People just want to have somebody that they can talk to.
They're confidant.
And these days, listen, there's all kinds of things that are going to happen. If it's not a COVID, right, it's the tariff situation. It's this or that. What you need to do is just see if you're going to grow your business, if you're going to exit your business, you just got to look at history and look at what's kind of going on in the moment.
Right.
It might not be good for you to do something right now, that like a big pivot, like, okay, I'm going to sell my business, but maybe it's a time where you should really be stacking on more customers, improving your processes, right? Sitting on the sidelines, keeping things going for that right moment. But my job as an investment banker, as an advisor to businesses, is to really help them think about that progression as it moves forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's one of those things where it's like when it comes to, somebody said to me the other day, they were like, this guy owns a bunch of different restaurants. He's a buddy and a client. And he was like, what's crazy, John? He goes, nobody just wants to have one restaurant anymore and just, be happy. It's like, I feel like everybody that I know, at least, maybe it's just I have a smaller, or maybe my feed that I follow on social media and like what I'm interested in. But it's like everybody I speak to, like they want to grow, they want to do bigger things. Like, and this guy was saying, cause like he has like 6 restaurants, I think. And he was like, he's like, I would have such less headaches. I'd make less money, but he's like, I'd be home with the kids more and whatever else. Like, he's like, it's just crazy that it's not really the way the world works anymore.
Yeah. And with restaurants, right, that's a
tough game.
It's a very tough game, right?
Yeah.
So once you find a winning formula,
right,
then you got to make hay while the sun shines, right?
Facts.
And it's like, okay, how do we do that right now? Was Frankie Busco, Gabriella's?
Oh, yep.
I mean, like, he has an amazing business model now.
Right.
So why not recreate that, right? And you start to set the standard in your industry.
Yeah. And again, one of the things that I'm noticing too, like, so for you particularly, right? You said you're big on personal development.
Yes, sir.
Who is somebody or what's something you're listening to or reading right now that we need to know about?
What am I listening to or reading? It's going to probably be really cliche for guys like yourself, right? But I had to get the latest Hormozy book.
Did you like it?
You know what? It's an easy read.
Yeah.
$100 million models. It just kind of breaks things down in a very simple fashion.
Right. He's really good at dumbing shit down.
Yeah, dumbing shit down. But I love his value proposition.
Yep.
And it's the same as Gary Vee and all these other guys. It's give some more. And then at the end, you start to create this environment where people go, well, how can I buy from you?
Right.
And that is a secret sauce.
That's a secret sauce in its own, right?
But I've been reading a lot of different books lately. I read too many books at one time. So I'm listening to on tape a marketing book. I can't think of the name of it. My friend Abe Casbo, the CEO of Verisoni, big marketing company, he wrote a book, which I'm going to get you a copy of now, called Irresponsibly Digital. And it talks about all the fraud in digital marketing and things like that, which is
a lot. There's a lot of it.
And it's a very interesting topic. So I'm reading that. I'm supporting other authors because I just finished my first book, The 5 Dimensions of Vitality. I'm very excited about this book. It's the 5 things that I really started focusing on to really improve my life.
Can you give us those quick 5?
Okay, so mind, body.
Yep.
Your mind takes care of your body takes care of your mind. That is the lowest hanging fruit for anything that you can do in your life. Your circle, it's who you're spending the time with. Who can you really put in this tight-knit circle that you can really rely upon, lean on, and have people that want to see you win just as badly as they want to win, if not more. So that's a magic thing. Your soul, and for me, soul is I'm a guitar player, right? It's like how do I find that thing that makes me me? What's that unique thing outside of adapting social that you do that makes you you?
Right.
For me, it's writing songs. I want to take singing lessons. I know it sounds crazy, but I want to take singing lessons because that's going to be that thing that gives me that spark.
Right.
Yeah. Outside of that, I would say my spirit. It's leading a life of being truly grateful and putting good things into the world. And I'm missing one because I'm just having a brain fart right now. But
it's okay.
We'll get
those are good. Those are all good ones, man. And I deeply agree with those. And I think at the end of the day, it's like if you're not taking care of your body, your mental, spiritual, and doing things that you have fun with doing. Yeah. I remember the first time that I heard the CEO of Goldman Sachs is like a DJ.
Yeah.
And he tours.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like an older guy. And I was like, what?
I think the last one is your life work. Your life's work. Like,
right.
What is it that you can create in your world that creates impact, creates a sense of joy and vitality that also provides you income, right? And I think by combining all these things together, you'll find
very wholesome.
Yeah, very wholesome. But you're absolutely right, though. Like you said, the CEO of Goldman Sachs is a DJ. The accounting firm Citrin Cooperman, you know how they started?
How?
They were managing the finances, I think, of The Who. Like a big rock and like that
Get
was what created their niche.
Right.
And I can tell you what was hilarious. Early in my banking career, I'd be at a meeting with a big CEO of a big stuffy company, and my boss would be next to me, and they're like, "Oh, tell me about you, Michael." And I was like, "Yeah, I played in a rock band, and I did this." And my boss would be like, "Oh my God, shut up. Like,
Stop saying that.
And the guy across the table would be like, "Dude, that's how I I got my MBA. I played drums in a band, and I played around the city, and that's how I played." I was like, see, it's those weird little things that connect you, but that's your soul. That's your thing that gives people fire around you and makes you, people more interested in you and all those different things.
I agree with that, man. I dropped. I didn't really go to college, but I finished high school. I took care of my parents' house. Throughout that whole process.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was like, all right, what do I want to do next? And what is so interesting is like as you start like something, right? All the things that you had to do to get you there, and who you were, right? Like I think there's a really big added value to being foolish in the beginning.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And as hungry as you could be. If you were to go back to your most vulnerable time.
Yes, sir. Right?
What would, J. Michael Fischer Jr. right now tell that JMF of your most vulnerable moment, you could go back to, what advice would you have for yourself now connecting the dots back?
I would say that there would be two really big things that I would say. I truly believe that your physical and mental health is the lowest hanging fruit to open up. It's a key to unlocking everything in your life. When I was 30 pounds overweight, when I had negative thought patterns in my head and things like that, it wouldn't allow me to walk into a room confidently. It wouldn't have allowed me to walk up to, this guy with a Patek watch, like my dream watch, and say, "Hey man, what's going on? Tell me about yourself. What are you doing here? How are you here?"
Right.
I would have been too scared to do that, right? It was a monkey on my back. When I could finally be confident in my own skin, that's when everything started to change. So I think that's the easiest low-hanging fruit. That's number one. The second thing that I would say, it goes back to what we said in the beginning. Every interaction that you have with every single human being that's out there, I'm looking at the camera to tell them, this is the most important thing, takeaway from this, is find the way where you're going to meet somebody, how can you help them? I don't go into any meetings, anything. If I'm going to meet you, I'm not going to say, okay, adapting social. I see these guys blowing up all these companies through their marketing, through these podcasting. Never once in this entire interaction that I've had with you did I think about what could I get out of John. I walked into it saying, what can I do to help John? How can I help John? What's something that I can do? And then sometimes you go into a situation and you're like, well, John's like, he's the guy. He already has it all figured out. That's never the case. No. There's always something that you can give to somebody. So when I walked into this meeting today, I was excited because I hoped that there was something that I could give to you that you could walk away with. And the more that you do that and you make this muscle that you keep flexing, this giving muscle all the time, then all of a sudden, a couple weeks from now, I'm going to get a call from John. Like, hey, Michael, you said that thing the other day, and it made me think of this thing. I got a friend of mine that has this business, and he's at this spot where he wants to grow more, and he has an idea, but he's thinking about can you just talk to him? Right. And when I got into the call with that guy, I'm not thinking, how can I sell this guy? Yeah, right. I'm going to think to myself, truly, how can I help this guy? How can I help this guy? How can I help him? Can I give him some direction? Can I take 30 minutes, an hour, and start asking him some questions that might change something in his mind? And then it just spirals, and he's going to say to talk to this person, and he's going to go back and say, John, thank you so much for introducing me to Michael. Right. And then you're going to go, well, shit, I better introduce more people to Michael then, because Michael's he's just a great human being. Yeah, he's not trying to sell people anything. He's just trying to be a helpful resource. That's it, man. Just be a helpful resource. Be a helpful resource.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's you right there. Yeah, let's
Is
go.
that what you, I
That's
didn't
you,
know
man.
I was allowed to use
Yeah,
it.
100%.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
fair game.
Okay, cool.
So, so that's great, man. And so I'm gonna go down two areas. So, is there anything right now for somebody who's watching? I know we can't give direct, obviously, financial advice, but is there somebody who's watching, right? Who's maybe in like a comfortable position, and they're like kind of just like, oh, I don't know where to invest or what to invest in. Do you have any like just high level like what you are doing that you would give as advice? Because that was one of the things we got in for an inquiry for you because I knew you were in finance, which was like
inquiry.
Yeah, well, we send out that we're having guests on right in the industry, and it was like, oh well, if one of them was I got a couple bucks, how would you invest a couple bucks in this current market?
Okay, so I don't give investment advice.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured.
What I do. And as an investment banker, I don't sell investments to people, right? So what I do on a daily basis is I see and I evaluate businesses that are out there in the market, right? So where people need to start thinking and paying attention to is there's going to be a huge transfer of wealth from that baby boomer generation to the next generation. And there's going to be businesses there that are not going to be very sexy. I literally drove by one today. It was hilarious. It was a porta potty cleaning company, right?
Right.
Now imagine your dad says to you,
I'm going to pass this down.
Hey, I'm going to pass this down for you. You're going to clean some porta johns. You can be like, that.
Well, especially this generation now, be like, hell no.
Yeah. This does not sound very exciting. But there's a lot of these Main Street type of businesses out there that could really use someone's sophistication, whether it be on the marketing side or be on the processes side and the systematized side. Think about how much AI has improved our lives, right? Because we've embraced it, right? I'm speaking for you like I know you've done this, right? But
No,
I'm sure
of course.
you have, right?
Yeah, I
but
have,
like, you can take AI and use and take what would be a really complex process and boil it down to something quite simple. Imagine being able to put that into an old school Main Street business like a porta potty cleaner or a plumbing company or a HVAC company or anything that's out there right now. There's ways that these businesses can improve, and I think that there's a lot of these baby boomers out there that are very set in their ways, and there's a lot of businesses out there that are not going to be able to transfer to the next generation because they're just not. They're really good at what they do. They're not really great
and they can't transfer it over.
Right?
And their kids don't want it.
Right?
Isn't that crazy? Like, to me, being somebody who grew up like, I wouldn't say poor, but very, lower middle class, it's like my family didn't really have money ever. So it was like, if somebody was like, oh, I'm gonna pass you over, even if it's not under $1 million business, it's like, it's got clients, you're making money. Like,
yeah.
I got a buddy actually who I want to introduce you to.
Okay.
I don't know what you have going. Do you have anything going on tomorrow? We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But anyway, so his dad it's a technically now it's a third generation cleaning products and like just industrial supply company. So it started in 1945.
Wow.
So his grandfather started it, passed it to the dad. The dad kind of fucking botched it. Like, he wasn't a businessman, right? So his son came in, and his son like took it over and built it, because it was, he said when he came in, it was almost 6 months from failing. And
it only had 6 months worth of cash to keep
going.
Got it.
And so, he came in and, and he took it over and bought his dad out and stuff. And, he built it to be like a $20+ million business now. And like what I love about that is like he was working for Coca-Cola or Pepsi at the time and saw that what was going on, so he decided to go help his dad. But like when you look at that, it's like, that shit I respect. I love that. I love hearing shit where it's like, oh, this almost went out. I came in, I fucking turned this thing around. I made this thing it prints money now. Yeah. Right. He actually is from Hoboken and just moved to Cold Snake.
Oh wow.
Like last month.
Nice.
So I'm gonna introduce you. Great dude. You guys would love him. We'll all get dinner.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with that said, I love that stuff. I just think, but to me, it's just so crazy the thought of somebody like, I'm not like, so you said, so like you where you and I differ is the issue that, and maybe it's an issue, maybe it's not an issue. Outside of adapting social, right? Like you're a passionate person. I could tell that about you.
Yeah.
about like, you know, guitar and like those things. Like that's so fucking cool. You have a hobby like that.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
for
do
me-
that enough. My
Right.
my hobby's more working.
Well,
out
I'm
now.
just saying,
like,
but you have something that you're like, boom.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can call on that.
yeah.
I don't really necessarily have that. I mean, like I'm a big boater. I like to have fun with my friends and party. Like my kids are my everything.
Yeah.
But for me, like I always said when I was younger, like I'll shovel shit if I could support my family, and I know you would too.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me that like this generation now like has a completely different. I don't love that. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not that person though. Like when I started adapting, I wasn't like, dude, websites get me fucking rock hard.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. I felt what kept me doing this business was I fell in love with the entrepreneurs. I fell in love with people who had fucked up stories like I did.
Yeah.
Right? Dad who had alcohol issues and this issue and that issue and financial issues and you're the oldest of 5 or, you know, this person, you know, there's always these crazy stories. But what I fucking love about it is like, you know, everybody's different. But like that's the thing. It's like this generation right now, they only want to do shit that they love. And there's something cool about that, right? Because you want to like be passionate about what you do. But like your dad and my dad and our grandparents didn't wake up and say, I'm gonna put my boots on today because I love construction or I love going to do whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot less rare back then, right?
Yeah.
You had to make money to support your family.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Like you just said it perfectly. You found a career that intersects you giving, being able to be, you know, a good dad and a good husband and give back. But like, you know, the generations before us didn't have that blessing.
Yeah.
Not everybody at least.
I think really what it comes down to, and you can challenge me on this if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want. People can challenge me on this if you want. Is think about back in the day, right? If you were trying to figure out what happened, like you hear about something, the newspaper comes out tomorrow, and you see Donald Trump had an assassination attempt on him.
Yeah.
So you have one source of this information that says this is what happened.
Right.
So that's how you make a decision in your own mind of, okay, this is this situation.
Right.
Now you have so many different sources of it. So many people that sit on one side of the street or the other side of the street. They're this gender, that gender, a
Right.
gender that you don't understand or whatever. And everybody's going to have a different perspective on it. So on top of that, you have this place now where you see a guy like you know, you have your own marketing and media company that you've grown to be very successful. And people are like, well, I can do that.
Right.
You know, so they see people that are enjoying these things,
Right.
but they're constantly smacked in the face where, well, you can do this because you only see those highlight reels on Instagram, and people are like, well, if this guy can do something that he loves, well, why shouldn't I be able to do that thing?
Right.
But here's where people get it wrong. There's kids that are graduating with a Harvard MBA or Cornell MBA or whatever
Right.
else that see these Main Street businesses
Yep.
shoveling shit, whatever it is,
Right.
right? And they go, wow, okay. So I can make a 50% margin
Yeah,
on
right.
that business?
Right.
How do I 10X that,
Yep,
right? There's
yep.
a lot of other people that are doing it. So I would say you have to create that balance.
Right.
But I think what it really comes down to is, I would ask you, I'd be like, John, what does everybody say about you that you do really, 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 really well? Ask people that question.
Right.
Ask your friends. Ask your colleagues that.
You know what they say?
What?
Beat Rob in fantasy.
Be
Bam.
in
Fantasy.
fantasy football. So then
Yeah.
maybe you should get into that world.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what.
But truly,
it's a current event.
It's finding out what people think your gifts are and what you're really good at.
No, true, right.
And then lean
True,
harder
true.
into that
Right.
thing.
That's
So
a
for
good
me,
point.
it's helping people.
Right.
Right. For you, it's finding out those, like you said, fucked up stories. Right.
Yeah.
And then how do you tell the story that you want them to be told?
Right.
That's a beautiful
Yeah.
place that you get to be in.
100%.
But originally, it probably didn't sound like websites make money, right?
Right.
It didn't get you,
right. Right.
you know what I mean? But now
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
that you change the frame on that is
Right.
you can take people with their fucked up lives and their fucked up stories, and you can change that story to help them grow something
Yeah.
really special.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool. I got very blessed to do
Yeah.
this and to fall into it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, as we get close to the end here, man, two things. One, what would you say over the years? It could be a Mikey original.
Okay, let's go.
Is
for it.
there a quote or adage as it pertains to resilience that you heavily are like, damn, I love that one?
I always have said, teach me the rules of the game and I'll win.
Mm.
And I think that
That's cool.
With
I like
the
that.
age of AI, anything that's out there, it's not so much about the technical knowledge of it anymore, because that's kind of handled now for you in a weird way, right?
Totally.
You need to understand something, right? And you feel like an imposter because you're walking into a room with people that are, raising venture capital, and you're like, well, I don't really understand what that is.
Yeah.
You can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I need you to act as an expert in venture capital, and I need you to explain it to me like I'm 12 years old.
Right.
And it's going to be able to teach you how to do that. I mean, so the rules are already there to win. Just got to learn the rules.
Now,
and then you can win anything you want.
Do you find somebody? Do you toe the line? Or are you a guy that stays in lines of the rules?
No, I want to
textbook guy.
No, I love to check the box. I get excited when I check off my to-do list, right? But what I want to do is I want to say, okay, teach me the rules. I've seen something that's been successful historically. Okay, do it that way. And now, how can we adapt?
Right. Boom, baby.
Unintended.
Boom, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
How can we adapt? How can we make a shift? How can we make a change to make it more efficient, more profitable, more whatever you want it to be?
Right.
That's what it is. Teach me the rules of the game. What are the original rules? It's like with Monopoly, right? When you first started playing Monopoly, right? I was just like, how many houses can I get built on the board? How can I get so many hotels? But then I realized, well, if I lever up all my properties and start flipping mortgages, then I can buy more properties on the boardwalk. Right. And I always win Monopoly, right? But that's not necessarily the direct rules. The original rules are just buy as many properties as you can.
Right.
But then when you leverage them, then you can buy more properties. Right. And then somebody hits on your thing, then they have to pay you rent. And then they literally are bankrupt because they can't afford. Then you win the game.
You win the game, right?
So I adapted.
I love it.
In a social setting.
I love it. Come on.
Let's go.
I love it. I love this guy. So then lastly, this is more of like a exercise. So, if, in the future when you're not around, right, and your daughter's out there in the world telling people about her dad.
Yes, sir. How
do you want your legacy from your daughter, from her vision and her experience of you? What, so to kind of put into, kind of a simulation, you're not in the room, obviously, you're not here anymore, right? What would she say dad was like?
My dad was a very helpful resource to a lot of people and lived a life full of vitality. That's how I want her to remember me by, like someone that was just in a constant flow state because he was just truly happy with himself. And then how do you get back to those things, right? For me, it's from helping people.
Right. I love it.
A helpful resource.
And if you were to create, paraphrasing, your gravestone, paraphrasing, of course, what would that say? What would that read?
Michael gave before he asked for anything in return. Or Michael never asked for anything. He always gave his heart to everything that he did.
I love it. That's fire. I love it. He said it so easily. Some people are like, damn, I don't know. I got to think about that. This guy was ready to go.
Yeah. No, you know what? And I hadn't thought about it. It's just I had to just pause and think, right? It kind of just comes back to like what your mantra is.
Your mantra, right?
What your mantra is. And I mean, I truly believe like that's a thing that I do every single day. If people aren't doing that, you should do it. I tell the world every single day what I want, who I am, what I'm going to be. Every day I say, I'm going to continue to shine my light on the world. Please continue to shine on me. My family's life is filled with happiness, health, and wealth. Every single day I say
Boom.
That. That's it.
I love it. I love it. And where? So for people that are listening, if they're interested in engaging with you, where can they find you?
So J. Michael Fischer, at J. Michael Fischer Jr., JMichael Fischer Jr. That's my Instagram handle. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. I post an article every single week on LinkedIn, which is take you 5 minutes to read, but hopefully it gives you a lot of value. You can go to DBD IB, so DBD Investment Bank, if you have any questions professionally. Yeah, email me, Michael at DBD. Happy to be a helpful resource, sounding board. If I can connect you with anybody, everybody on my LinkedIn is like actually people that I know. So if you need an introduction, happy to make that for you.
Love it. And again, I will say, my guy Mike is a huge connector. So obviously, you're a great resource. Anybody looking in business, this is the guy to talk to. But guys, thank you for listening in. It's crazy to think that right now, while this is being recorded, we are, the last month of Q3. And I always say to everybody, again, we blink and our goals, what we're after, diminish, and the year goes by and we're like, damn, I didn't hit my goals, I didn't achieve my goals. And, the biggest thing that I think makes the difference is setting your goals up in front of you, right? So like one of the things that I do is every year, my wife and I, for the past 12 years, technically like it's right before New Year's Eve, but like we kind of put together our individual goals and our family goals. And then we print them out and we put them in our most frequented areas. So like it's in my closet. So every day when I'm getting changed or I'm putting on one of my watches or whatever, I'm looking at my goals in my face. Love it. And I can't hide from them, right? And so for people out there, I think that's a big thing, because sometimes you say, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to, build this, or I want to do that. And, your life happens, right? Like life happens fast and you move, and next thing you know, boom, another year went by. So, I hope for people listening in that you're getting after it, you're making the most of it. And, life is a situation that you're as much as you can be in control of by your actions. You can't control what life does to you, but you can control what you do and what you decide to do every day. So I hope you choose in this end of Q3 to dial the fuck in for Q4.
I was just going to say, can we challenge the listeners?
Let's challenge. Oh,
it's like, I'm just saying, listen, everybody's going to wait till 1/1/2026, right? For that New Year's resolution.
The wait, the this.
Fuck that shit. Let's lock in right now through the end of the year. It's a sprint to the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Let's lock in those goals, and let's set it up to go, instead of like going in behind the 8 ball in 2026.
We set it for success.
Let's go in strong, baby.
I love that. Love that. Prep. Guys, thank you for listening. Michael, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, go follow Mike and stay tuned for the book coming out.
Let's go.